Good morning. I'm starting a new project to replace the ATCs. Um, I think people are going to be able to join in if you want to. You don't have to, obviously. But I bought one of these, and they're called colour cubes. And it's hard to explain this really, but inside it has 250 cards with colour combinations. Sorry, I forgot to pick it up. So I'm literally starting at number 1, and let me just get that right in screen for you. Yeah, and basically the idea of it is that you obviously you've got a photo here, and then all the colours are picked out of the photo and makes a colour palette. Okay, so on the back you have all the proper names, if you like. So you've got magenta, blood orange, gold, camel and hunter green. Underneath these are the hex codes. Now if you Google hex codes, you can pick up what these colours mean. So what I'll do under the video is leave a list of the hex codes, although you can probably freeze frame and read that anyway. And then on this other side it gives you all the shades and what was it, tints and shades. Yeah, so it does come with a how to use it basically. And for me, I got this because I get stuck in a rut with colour choices. You know, I'm very much into my neons, I love blues and things like that, and I want to get out of that rut. So what I'm going to plan to do with these colour suggestions, these colour cards, is actually do something on paper and then something in fabric if I've got the colours, or I'm never going to get exactly. The beauty of these cards is that this colour goes right up to the edge, so if you want to lay it against a piece of fabric you can get pretty darn close basically. And it's just to explore different colour palettes, and I thought this could be quite fun, I'll be honest with you. So what I've decided to do is a piece of fusible batting. I've already done it, so I don't want to so using a piece of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 fusible batting, I'm actually going to fuse the fabrics onto that, and then either hand or machine sew the pieces on. The first one I've done, I've actually used the machine, but the following video takes you through everything that I did to get to where it is basically. It also involves grid journaling for the paper side of it, which obviously if you're not a paper crafter, just skip that bit, but have a go, see what you can do, and play around with your stash, and let's see what we can make out of it. With the squares, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to end up doing with them. I mean, obviously they could be made into a quilt. I might just make them into like a wall hanging of some sort, and then put the numbers on the back, although there's going to be 250 at the end. Whether I do all 250 with you will depend on whether anybody wants to join in, I'll be honest with you. But I'm going to keep going until I get really bored with it, I'll be perfectly honest. But I just thought that they were an interesting way to play with colour and get out of your comfort zone basically, you know, make you start looking at other colours and how you can put them together like nature does, you know, perfectly blends it for you. You know, it's stunning, isn't it, that photo? So yeah, so I will now hand over to the video. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you. That's the details. You can get it on Sarah, what's her name, Sarah Renae Clark. She's got a website. She also does not just the cubes, she does a colour catalogue as well, so you can actually get a similar thing like this but in a catalogue, in a book if you like. So I don't know how much they were. Is that everything? With the paint side of it, or the paper craft side of it, I'm gonna allow myself to use paints, watercolours, pens, whatever I've got that I can actually make the paper side of it with basically. And it's going to be very abstract, as is the sewing bit, which you will see after I stop yabbering. So yeah, join in if you like. It'd be great if you do. As I say, all you got to do is Google the hex codes. Just Google hex codes. That's HEX. I'll put it up there. Hex codes, okay? And they are for more digital people. If you're a digital worker, you could do this digitally as well on your if you've got Apple products and whatever, really. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'll put all the list of these underneath and what colours they were, and yeah, see if you enjoy the following video. It is my first one, so it's a little bit dodgy. So, but hopefully I'll get better. So I'll see you on the table. Bye. Right, back on the desk. So as with the fabrics, I'm probably not going to have all the colours. I've got lots of things I can do colours with, so I'm going to rely on my colour wheel here, which you know, will hopefully help me get close. Now the beauty of these is that the colours go right up to the edge, so I can judge that's not the right colour. So I can faff around and find the right colour if I need to, using this colour wheel, because it tells you, you know, adding yellow, adding blue, adding white, adding black, what it does to those different colours. So I mean, I imagine for the gold I'm going to be on the yellow scale. That's pretty close, so it's just yellow basically. I don't know, yeah, I'm going to faff around with it. As I say, I'm not a colorist, so excuse the ignorance here. So that's going to be that side of it. Now as for the fabrics, again, whether I'm going to get close or not is beyond me, but this one had hunter green, which was a really hard colour to find, but I happened to find this scrappy square. Hallelujah. So I've got a scrappy square of the hunter green. For the magenta, on the back of one of these silk remnants from Van Buck, England, it's pretty magenta-y to me. So I'm going to cut again, I've not worked this out yet, so I've just gone through my scraps trying to find the colours. So for the gold, I've got this piece of what are you called, linen, and it does have a nice, to me it's close enough, do you know what I mean? So I've got a cat laying under my chair, so I can't move. Yeah, so I'm going to cut a piece of that to put on here. And then for the camel, this is the closest I could get. And I think, I don't know, actually it's not that close, is it? That's all I've got. So I'm not going to go out and buy stuff for this. So that's going to be the camel. And then for the blood orange, I've got this piece of cotton. I mean, either, again, it's not exactly, it's more that one, isn't it? But then I'm going to allow myself that. And then if I don't have the fabrics, I'm also going to allow myself, I've got fabric paints, and if necessary, I will mix the fabric paints and use a scrap of that fabric when it's done. I'm hoping this makes sense. It might not, but this is going to be my little play. I think I'm going to just play around with stuff, and yeah, so I'm going to do the paper side of it first, just to get the messy stuff out of the way, and then I can get, although let's do the fabrics first. Yeah, let's do the fabrics first before we get water and everything out. So yeah, basically, as I say, I'm going to use a piece of fusible felt. This is a scrap. Again, it's going to be a great scrap buster, I hope. I cut it roughly, I think it is roughly four and a quarter. Let me just see. Yeah, it's about 4 1/4. Yeah, 4 1/4 square. That gives me a nice margin to be able to either trim it up or whatever, really. Yeah, so this is going to be very abstract. They are not going to be patchwork squares. They're just going to, well, they are, but you know, they're going to be bits and pieces. And now the sun's decided to go in and I'm struggling to see. Bear with me. Let me just lighten it up a bit for me. So yeah, I hope, I don't know, is it something you want to join in with? I don't know. You might want to. As I say, I just need to get my don't even know if colour confidence is the right word, but I certainly want to build my skills. Okay, it's going to be very abstract, very scrappy. Happy days. I'm going to carry on playing. I'll put you on a bit of fast forward if I stop yabbering. And it's not quite bright enough, but it isn't far off. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'll put you on a bit of fast forward. I'm not very happy with the hunter green being the main focus, so I'm just going to take that off for a second. I might put a bit more of this in. It is only a scrap, so I'm not really worried. Not essentially not wasting it, so let's just play around with this for a second. Right, that's the side I need. Maybe we'll just do a small square of that. It was too dominant, so yeah. This is what I mean, you see. This is good. It's good fun. I'm enjoying this. Just, you know, thinking about the colours. These are so scrappy. I'm not worried about wasting any of this fabric at all. So where's the top there? I put that one there. Bring that down a bit. Do I like that better or do I not? Maybe we'll just straighten that up a bit as well. If you don't have fabrics, you might have wool and stuff like that you can couch down instead. That could be fun. Yeah, maybe you got some wool scraps and things like that. It'll be completely up to you how you do yours, basically. I think with a load of stitching, I think that could look really nice actually. Right, I think I'm happier with the yellow being on the background, or the gold on the background, so let's just chop that to size. Just overlap it slightly. Bear with. Okay, I've turned it round because I really like those little flowers there. To the point I'm going to get them all on there. Right, okay. Okay, I think I like that. It's quite modernist. The blooming sun's come out again. I've been battling the sun all day. In and out, in and out. Right, yeah, it's quite abstract. But as I say, this is kind of what these squares are going to look like. Right, okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to pin it together. I'm not going to sew it right this second. Sorry, I've got my pins. Oh, they're over there. Honestly, Cat, will you go and lay somewhere else? Right, she's finally moved. So yeah, I'm going to heat bond that onto there. But I like that. I might tidy up that shape a little bit. Yeah, it's just a bit of colour play, bit of fun. Like I say, you can join in or not. It's completely up to you. I wanted the hunter green because that is one of the colours, definitely. It's not quite on with the blood orange, but I think it's as close as I'm going to get. Okay, yep, I think I'm happy with that. Again, you know, if you're playing along, you're not going to have all the colours. You might, I don't know, if you've got a massive stash. I don't. I've got a fair, but, you know, not huge. If you're a quilter, I mean, you know, these little bits, yeah, we gather these, don't we? So right, so that all needs stitching together. I might just do either all black or all white stitching, because that could be a really good stark contrast, couldn't it? I don't know. I'll have to play with that. I love this for silk. I love when it peels. Yum. Right, okay, so on a similar vein, although not those shapes, we're going to do the same with pencil and paint, or, you know, paint and stuff. Anything that will make a mark. I'm not limiting myself. If I've got a gel pen, those colours, I'll use a gel pen or an Inktense pen, or a Sharpie or anything. All right, so let me gather those and I'll come back to you in a sec. Right, for quite a while now I've been playing with some grid journaling just on my own, just playing with backgrounds, colours, shapes, that kind of thing. So here's some of the ones that I've done before. A bit of texture paste, die cuts, just, you know, just playing, doodling. Yeah, just playing, as I say. That was just trying out pencils. So I thought the ideal way to represent these colours would be to do squares, basically, grid journaling. So I'm just going to do one of each of the colour cubes, because there's 250 colour things in there. This is something that it was left over when I cut out stuff on my ancient Cricut machine. You can make these if you've got a Cricut. These don't line up because yeah, I was just cutting squares and I thought, oh, I'll keep that stencil, and yeah, it's handy. So, and this is a mixed media spiral bound book that I've had for the longest time. I don't even know how many pages are in here, quite a few, but yeah, so I'm just going to play in that. Yeah, And that's that really. So I've got a piece of, because I was using marker pens somewhere here and it went right through. I don't know where. Yeah, this is just something that I've been playing with. It's not, these aren't good, so I'm not even going to pretend. And what I've been doing is finding the inspiration on Pinterest. I don't even know what you're seeing. Yeah, I found the inspiration on Pinterest and tried to, because it's something that I want to do, you know, so that was the inspiration, that was my effort. But again, I need to work more on stuff like that. So this is another reason why I'm doing this. I'll stop yabbering, Susan, and let's get on with it. So there we are. Let's start up here, why not? So these are the colours that I'm kind of looking for. Again, it's going to be just abstract. I'm not even trying to paint anything, it's just going to be abstract. So I will put you on, and if I need to mix colours I can use this thing. I've got a palette at the side of me, but I've got quite a few watercolour paints and stuff like that, so I'm just going to see what I can do. I'll see you on the other side. Otherwise I'm just going to talk your pants off. Yeah, all right. Right, okay. By mixing a bit of blue in with that green, I kind of got that hunter green. It's not quite. Again, you see, this is kind of what I need to do, is to mess around with these colours. And I was using the Cosmic Shimmer watercolours there, so because it is almost like a bluey green, the hunter green. Yes, I'm making a mess in my book, but that's fine. That's what it's for. It's just a trial, these colours. So what I'll do is I'll finish off this. I'll go and stitch that other piece. So I think using either black or white thread will maybe hopefully show up the fabrics more. I think I'm going to get better as I keep going, so bear with me. I'm not very good at colour mixing, as I have previously told you. So yeah, it's all about learning these colours, and you know, I mean, you know, hunter green to me is just a dark green, but it's actually not. It's actually quite a bluey green. So it's just sort of recognising that blue in there, I think is going to make it much more the right colour, as it were. And once it's dry, it'll look different anyway. And then, of course, you get all the different hues there if you want to. Right, okay. We'll let that dry. I'll go and do some stitching. Again, I think what I'm just going to do, I'll leave that there for a second, is probably just a very narrow zigzag. I'm just wondering about colour matching. No, I'm going to go with my first idea. I think black will really intensify it. We'll have a look. If it's a disaster on this first one, I won't do it again on the next one. It's all about learning. Okay, right. Yeah, I'll come back to you when the stitching is done. Right, the watercolours are almost dry now. Now this magenta is not. That's the previous. So I've pulled out one of my alcohol markers, and that is magenta. So yes, it looks a mess. That's fine. I am not worrying. Cool, that's much better match. I just want a little bit more orange with the blood orange. I still haven't got that one quite right, but these are coated, so you can actually wipe them down if you need to. So yeah, so thanks to my granddaughter, she did a colour swatch of all my alcohol pens, bless her, and number 6 came up as the best closest number colour, whatever you want to call it. Right, so I think I got there with the camel. The gold is pretty good. The magenta I'm much happier with now, and the blood orange and the hunter green. Putting more blue on that really helps. So that's interesting. Blue with a bit of green gives you a hunter green. Learned something, and that is exactly what this little task is going to be all about. Is all about the colours and the blending and all the rest of it, because I've never done any art college stuff. So that's that one. That's the paper one. So I've stitched the stitchy one. So let me just see, am I in shot? Yeah. I'm not sure about the black. I might do grey next time. It might blend in a bit better. But do you know what? I'm probably going to go around this with black pen and just outline these squares, so they're going to kind of match. I don't want them to match perfectly, but I want them to be sisters, if you like. So I think we definitely got the magenta. The blood orange was pretty close. The gold was pretty good, and the camel not too bad, and the hunter green was more or less spot on. That one, that's quite a bluey green. So yeah, and I enjoyed the different shapes in here. So I think from now on they're probably going to be squares, or I don't know, I might even be brave and cut some circles. But this is what I'm going to do on a Friday. If you want to join me, that would be fantastic. And so this is mixed media paper. I just happen to have this book. It's nothing special. It's one that I picked up years ago, and I've been playing in it. I don't even think it's got a brand. Oh, it's a Daler Rowney And that's it. And these are some of the other ones that I was going to attempt but never got round to. So yeah, so if you fancy it, as I say, I will outline these in black, I think, so I'll show you that on the next video. These will be Fridays, like I said already. So I'll see you next week. Bye.